project 1 million that started in 2019-2020.
How does it stall?
We were with you here in the Senate.
I was in the Senate with you.
Yeah, so don't be defensive.
I would.
How does that stall? How does a 1 million public toilet? Sorry?
And sometimes also you could find that, granted, I don't want to say that for this specific one, we've had issues where perhaps money was allocated to, say, a toilet, and then you find out the land was not public or the land had not been acquired. So you can't proceed because then it becomes an audit issue. But I don't want to say specifically. I would have to come back to you on that. I don't know why that happened.
And then
what you're not seeing, Chair, is the status of that project.
Correct.
Status of completion.
So now
Because
is
zero
it
amount has been paid?
Which one?
Zero amount has been paid for that particular project.
No,
zero
zero.
amount. Has
Zero.
it started at all?
No, when
Was
it's fired, it means the money, it's not going to be done.
So why is it here as a stalled project? How can it stall when it has not started?
Because the contract had been awarded at that time, back in 20, when I was in the Senate with the chair. So the contract had been awarded. Maybe the contractor never took sight, right?
So is it
So
stalled
why
or
is
Never, but no payments were done.
why does it still appear then? I don't know. I mean,
But we are working on that. I actually brought on board when I came in, because I realized a big part of my problem in the county is a lot of public money spent on projects that have not been completed. And we're talking about since 2010 even, I mean 20, way back. So I have brought on board a director here, stand up Patrick maybe, who is helping me with this sort of stuff, where they go to the ground and every project, now not from the office, but they actually go and see the status, because you could also be given this and told it's completed and nothing has started. So we are now completely on top of it using this department.
The Governor, the actual status is it has not started.
No, it's not even going to start. The money has been wired.
Yes. So it is not stalled.
so how do you deal with that, OAG? How do you clean the books of the county so that these things don't continue appearing? And then
before
before
you clean the books, does it mean the community still need that particular toilet?
Yeah, because there's a public participation aspect.
I don't want to answer in a way that I could mislead the House, because I'm not sure about this specific one, because it could have even been that there was another toilet nearby, but somebody had put money for this as a toilet. So they ended up deciding, instead of the toilet, give us water in that public area. And they wired the money to do water. I don't know.
But I think, Governor, for the benefit of your politics and also benefit of the community, if the community still need that particular toilet, you can send your officer to check what is on the ground and then review and see 1 million is nothing as far as your budget is concerned.
So what do? You need to give another view exactly.
Does a toilet exist at Elementaita Trading Center?
They are private ones. Maybe somebody decided that it's better for us to use private facilities at Elementaita and deny county revenue.
Because what Senator Dula is saying is important. We are all practical politicians. You know, in a trading center, in a market, the traders would want a toilet. Now, if in 2019, 2020, they wanted a toilet and it has not been done because it has been wired, I don't know how you explain that to the vegetable sellers.
But Chair, I mean, I don't want to make it seem so bad in the sense that maybe the toilet was taken away and they were left without a toilet. Let's remember a lot of this environment happens in the county assembly when they do the supplementary. And before the supplementary, they have to do public participation. So also because, and I would hope I am right, also because like you and I, they are politicians, I hope also Senator Dula, through the chair, they would not take out money for a toilet and leave that community without a toilet. So there may have been another toilet nearby.
But Governor, you're speaking in very vague terms. Maybe, I don't know.
No, because I don't want to answer specific to this one.
That's exactly our expectation. That when you come here, No. That when you come for the Senate, you are giving us specific. It's now 3 years down the line. Surely this is an exercise that should have been conducted in the first few years of your administration so that you get to know if we are proceeding with projects. if the money was sent to another one or something else. And I also need you to confirm. You can see that on that same page 261, there was construction of an ECD toilet at Giashonge Primary. There's another one at Ereri ECD. And your comment there, status as at August 2025, is contractor declined work. In all fairness, Governor, that's not a status.
Date at up to now. And does it mean the ECDs they're not having a toilet? Where are they going to? Are they using bushes? And the school did not have toilets. So there was a toilet for male teachers. No, there was a bush for male teachers and a bush for female teachers. A bush for let me not mention the county. I already mentioned it, okay. Yeah. So are you using bushes?
Yeah, which is what devolution was meant.
Governor, maybe when as you design an ECD center, for example, do you put the classroom? Do you put a staff? Do you put? I know children are still young; they might need to take an afternoon nap. They could be somewhere they're eating from, and then maybe the issue of washrooms. And then, Governor, do you also have a feeding program? Because I know most of the counties, including Nairobi, they have what we call dish in a county, although wana dishi watu. So can you paint a picture on how your ICD looks like, so that we don't even need to come to Nakuru? What is the design of your ICD, and just finalize maybe if you have a feeding program, maybe like Uji or to ensure the enrollment to ECD classes.
Okay, before you respond, the officer you said you're brought in to help you on this, I want you to, as the governor is responding, work out, in this report of the Auditor General, is about 7.8 billion in terms of stalled projects as at the time of audit. In your report, you have indicated that 13 have been completed, that there's been some progress. Can you attempt to quantify what is the current value of stalled projects so that we can take a view on effectiveness? But Governor, you may respond first.
Thank you, Chair. And I'll have, if you don't mind, I'll have Patrick, who is that director, speak for a minute. What we did, and we started this at the close, actually sometime in the last financial year, his department and, or his directorate, sorry, plus staff from every department visited, went across the county, visited and got the status of all these stalled projects, but also sat and did like a workshop. I think we called it a workshop at that time, where including the MCA and members of from the executive, staff from the executive, the projects that were no longer viable, decided, let's take them off our books, or do we add more money, or has another class been built since, and you know, that sort of decision, and then decided on what to do with that. They had a clinic, actually, that's what they called it then. And so when, through the chair, so Senator Sifuna feels I'm not being very specific, I feel I've been specific enough in, for example, in saying, say we vied. However, we shall do an addendum where we'll be able to give you what happened exactly when they vied, where did that money go, or did it go to another project, or you know, that sort of stuff. As far as the toilets, it's one of the things that I'm very keen on for the ECD students, because many of them have been sharing toilets with the older students, so that you find these little babies are having to share toilets with those older kids, and it's not been very good. But when now we are building, and this is in response to Senator Cherargei's question through the chair, our model ECDs are really where we don't now just build. We came in and decided we don't just build a classroom. We don't just come in and build a structure like this and say, hey, Giashonge ECD, here you are. What now we do, it's a complete package. We do the classroom, we do the desks, we do chairs, or rather we furnish. We do the chairs, we do a toilet, we do a water tank and a water washing point with that ECD. On the floor, we do terrazzo, and we do some nice painting colors so that it's attractive to these little kids. In addition to that, we have as a county a feeding program that is the fortified porridge. And indeed, since we started this program, it has increased our enrollment. I was at about 55,000 ECD students. We now have a little over 60,000. We had like 3 or 4 classrooms in some very hot area without much going on that had been closed. But once we introduced the porridge, the schools have reopened with kids coming. So it's really just helped in a lot of ways. And we are doing a lot of infrastructure in terms of these ECDs.
So,
But yeah, sorry,
yeah,
let me have
back to your
Patrick,
officer.
1 minute. Yes. Come.
The school feeding, I think she has responded, but we were on projects with quantifiable values. Maybe let's deal with that. And for your information, I've just logged into your PMS system that you have referred to here. And I can see that stalled projects are 0, varied projects are 0, vired projects are 0. So this does not seem to correspond or tie with the submissions that you have made here. But you may proceed.
Proceed.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, my governor. And I just want to appreciate also the committee and the chair. We want to say that this is a very good exercise to help us really paint a picture of what happens at the ground and the commitment of good leaders like our Excellency Governor. Like I said, my name is Kigunda, the director in charge of Efficiency Monitoring Unit. And
Kigunda, go straight to the point.
Yes, when we came on board, we evaluated all the projects within the county, and we did an audit of which projects should continue, which ones should not, and which ones should be put on an RRI. And in a nutshell, what we have done, from what the Auditor General cited, the 26 projects that he had cited or she had cited that had not gone on or had stalled, out of those 13 projects have since been completed. And this, from your simple calculation, will represent a 50% completion rate. Based on what had been cited. So
50%. So are you saying that you've delivered about 3.9 billion in terms of projects?
Sure.
In terms of completion.
And that could be also reflected on our absorption. Based on the last year's absorption of what we absorbed from our development absorption fund. That can be reflected there.
Okay.
Yes.
For maybe Vice Chair first, then we give some certain directions.
Yeah, Chair. Page 263, drilling of Arahuka borehole. The status of that project is incomplete. It has been drilled and capped. Are you there? Yes. Approval documents from WRA 6 financial year. When do you expect this project to be in use? Because the people of Arahuka require that water.